in the huge spread of the cosmos, where galaxies spin and dance together in quiet peace, and stars are lit up in the never-ending night, a deep order whispers through every part of everything that exists. This isn't messy, and it's not just by chance. From a single leaf gently falling to the bright start of a new day, everything unfolds with a purpose, woven into a big picture, guided by an unseen hand. All over the universe, you can see patterns, the exact dance of the planets, the rhythm of the seasons, the complex design in the tiniest living cell. These aren't just random things that happen, but signs of a deeper wisdom, a big plan that brings all things together with meaning and direction. The Quran reminds us, indeed we have created all things with a measure. Al-Qamar 49. And with him are the keys of the unseen. None knows them except him, and not a leaf falls, but that he knows it. Al-An'am 59. As sunlight falls over city views with tall minarets, and the beautiful writing of holy words shines with a special light, we are asked to think about this. Every moment, every tiny atom, every soul is part of a big plan. In this plan, nothing is missed. Every small detail is known, every outcome is measured. This is the idea of taqdir, the divine decree. It's the sure feeling that our universe isn't just floating around without a purpose, but is held steady by wisdom and kindness. It's the promise that our lives, with all their joys and challenges, are part of a story written by the one who knows everything. Let's start this journey by thinking about the peace around us, and about the one whose knowledge covers everything. Look, when we take a big picture view of life, a symphony of purposeful design unfolds before our eyes. Take the bee, for example. It flies from flower to flower, gathering pollen. And in doing so, it's like an invisible architect of life. It makes sure that our fields and forests bloom anew again and again. Or think of the salmon. Driven by an ancient instinct, it fights its way upstream, back to a birthplace it has never seen before. Its journey is like an echo of destiny, written into its heart. That always reminds me of the stories of the Rhine salmon, which returned to our rivers for centuries until we humans blocked their way. A reminder of how important it is to protect these cycles. High above, majestic mountains rise like timeless guardians, forming clouds and rivers, just as the Alps shape our weather patterns. And deep below, the oceans teem with life, a dance of balance and interdependence, like you might know from the Wadden Sea, where everything is connected. Every creature, from the smallest plankton to the majestic eagle, fulfills a unique purpose. No one steps on another's toes. Everyone perfectly fits the laws meant for them. It's like a well-oiled clockwork, where every gear has its place. Think of the spider weaving its intricate web, a marvel of engineering and patience. Or the sun floating at just the right distance to wrap the earth in warmth and light. Even the water we drink, its properties are so finely tuned to enable life. All of this speaks of conscious care and wisdom. The Quran reminds us, He is the one who created all things and measured them with exact determination. Al-Furqan 2. And so, the calligraphy of the holy verses shines, reflecting the harmony that permeates all of creation. It's like a masterpiece by Dürer or Bach. There's an order and beauty in it that you can just feel. All of existence is bound by a cosmic order. Every element, every creature, every law fulfills its purpose, neither overstepping nor neglecting its role. This interconnected harmony is no accident, but a lesson for us humans. We should observe, learn, and find humility and meaning in this magnificent plan. Because when we recognize the harmony of creation, then we are invited to take our own place within it, with gratitude, with reverence, and with a sense of responsibility. Exactly in the spirit of live and let live, but with a deep understanding of the connections. Imagine for a moment the vastness of the cosmos, not as the result of a cosmic lottery, nor as a fleeting oasis of order in a sea of chaos, but as a sign of a deep and intended plan. The Islamic view rejects the idea of a pointless existence. The Quran asks a strong question. Did you think that we had created you for no purpose and that you would not be brought back to us? Al-Mu'minun 115. Every galaxy, every star, every living cell, each is a note in a grand symphony, played by one all-knowing creator. There are no random notes. Each adds to the harmony of the whole. The exact laws of physics, the mathematical beauty of the universe, the complex variety of life, all of this points not to blind chance, but to a guiding intelligence. To believe otherwise would be like thinking a poem could write itself or a super advanced computer could come from a pile of sand. Our minds and feelings tell us. Design points to a designer. Purpose points to a purposer. The universe is a book full of signs. Its message is order, balance, and ultimate meaning. This is a truth that satisfies the mind and brings life to the soul. The divine plan goes beyond the physical world. Just as there are physical laws that guide the movement of planets, there are moral and spiritual laws that guide human happiness. Our existence is not just about survival, but about knowing our Creator and living a mindful life of service. That shows His mercy, justice, and wisdom. This is the highest goal, the ultimate purpose toward which all creation moves. We are not aimless wanderers in a random world. We are travelers on a meaningful journey, each with a unique path, a beginning, a middle, and an end. When we look at the night sky, let's not just see burning balls of gas, but proof of a grand plan, a divine creation that invites us to think and wonder. Even in the tiny world of a single cell, we see a miniature masterpiece of the same genius that rules the cosmos. The universe is always speaking to us, reminding us, your life is not pointless. You are here for a purpose. The challenge is to find that purpose and align your will with the cosmic goal, to change existence from a series of random events into a journey full of meaning, fulfillment, and return to your source. In the smooth dance of the universe, every being moves in perfect obedience to the laws woven into its very nature. The stars shine, the oceans ebb and flow, animals follow their instincts, each fulfilling its set role with perfect accuracy. This is called Hidayat al-Taqwin, the natural guidance that directs all of creation and makes sure not a single atom goes off its path. But in the middle of this great harmony, one creation stands out. Humans. Unlike the sun and moon, which rise and set in quiet submission, or the birds that travel guided by unseen compasses, humanity has been given something special, the freedom to choose. This is Hidayat al-Irshad, the guidance through thought and understanding, a gift that lifts us above simple instinct and makes us think, ask questions, and decide. We are not tied to just one path, nor are we forced to follow a path without asking questions. Instead, the way is shown to us, through reason, conscience, and the old wisdom of revelation. Prophets have lit up the way before us and offered a moral and spiritual compass, but never forced our steps. The light is there, but it's up to us to walk in it, or turn away and wander in the dark. This freedom is both an honor and a test. It makes our love true, our worship meaningful, and our choices important. A programmed machine can't truly love, nor can a star choose to shine. But a human who could rebel and still chooses obedience, who could hate and still chooses kindness, that is the most precious offering. Every day we stand at countless crossroads. Will we choose truth over comfort, mercy over not caring, knowledge over not knowing? These choices, no matter how small, are the threads that weave our destiny. Unlike the rest of creation, which praises its creator in unchanging harmony, we are called to praise in conscious, purposeful devotion. A devotion that is meaningful exactly because it was chosen. This is the honor of being human. This is the deep test of our existence. Why, you might ask, were we given this powerful and dangerous gift? The gift of freedom. The answer lies in a deep idea. Amana, the sacred trust from God. Humans were chosen to carry a responsibility, which the heavens, the earth, and the mountains turned down. The Quran tells us about this important event. We offered the trust to the heavens and the earth and the mountains, but they did not want to carry it and were afraid of it. But man took it on. Truly he was unfair and didn't know. Scholars explain this amana as the ability to choose freely, along with the moral responsibility that comes with it. The vastness of creation understood how huge this burden was. Our freedom is not a pass to ignore God's rules, but rather the tool through which our test happens. The laws of nature are fixed. We can't just fly by flapping our arms, but the laws of right and wrong and of the spirit are where our choices really matter. Every decision, honesty or cheating, fairness or unfairness, kindness or not caring, becomes a thread in the story of our lives. Being held accountable is then the sure and fair outcome of freedom. Without true choice, there could be no meaningful judgment, no reward or punishment. It would be unfair to hold someone responsible for an action they were forced to do. So the whole idea of heaven and hell, of rewards and punishments, is built on the truth of human free will. Our lives gain huge meaning. Every thought is known, every choice is written down. On the day of judgment, the main question will be, what did you do with the amana, the sacred trust, that even the mountains were afraid to carry? Living with this understanding changes how we see things. Life is no longer just a playground, but a testing ground. Freedom is not given for fun, but as a way for our true selves to be shown. Do we have the honesty to choose the right path, even if it's hard? The strength to resist temptation for a higher purpose? Our freedom is the pen with which we write the story of our souls. It is a sacred trust, and the weight of its responsibility shapes the very core of who we are. If the universe was made for peace and balance, why do we see so much destruction and mess? The answer, as shown in the Quran, is both clear and a bit sad. The trouble comes from us. It's not a mistake in God's plan, but because people misuse the special gift of free choice, corruption or fasad is when things go off the path God set. It's a mess we start whenever we act against the natural and moral rules given by our Creator. The Quran says it clearly. Trouble has shown up on land and sea because of what people's hands have done, so that He may make them taste some of what they have done, so that they might turn back. Ar-Rum 30:41. This going off track starts deep inside, in a person's soul. When someone chooses pride over being humble, greed over being kind, or hate over love, they mess up their own mind. This inner struggle becomes a block to peace and happiness, a fire that burns from the inside out, fed by the choice to cut off from the good that comes from God. But the effects don't stop with just one person. Corruption leaks out and infects families, groups, and whole societies. When unfairness, taking advantage of others, and not being honest become the base of a society, trust breaks down and social ties fall apart. Lies in business and politics break down the social fabric and lead to inequality, poverty, and suffering. Such a breakdown of society isn't just bad luck. It's what happens when many choices go against fairness and kindness. Finally, this corruption hurts nature itself. Our current environmental problems, polluted rivers, destroyed forests, poisoned air, are the clearest and most awful signs that we've stopped being good caretakers of the earth. Climate change, many species dying out, and using up natural resources are not accidents. They are direct results of what we all do, a painful message from the planet telling us to rethink and get back to a balanced path. The lesson is deep. The chaos we see isn't forced on us from above, but let loose by our own hands. It's a wake-up call to understand the holy trust we carry, and to make our choices match the harmony God intended. In the aftermath of chaos, a question echoes through the halls of human consciousness. How can we bring back the balance and harmony that were once woven into the very fabric of creation? The answer lies in bringing together two deep sources of knowledge, the Book of the Universe and the Book of Revelation. The first pillar is understanding and respecting the cosmic laws set by the Creator. These are the laws of physics, biology, and chemistry that control the physical world. Just as an engineer must respect the laws of gravity and pressure to build a strong bridge, and a person must honor their body's biology through good food and rest to live healthy, so too must humanity follow the basic rules built into creation. Ignoring these laws will surely lead to failure and breakdown. This is practical, real knowledge, openly shown throughout the universe. But knowing about cosmic order alone isn't enough for true human growth. Science can teach us how to build, but not why we should build, or if we should build at all. This is where the second pillar becomes very important: the divine laws, guidance, and moral rules sent through revelation. This guidance deals with the spiritual and ethical parts of life and teaches us about fairness, kindness, purpose, and being truly accountable to God. It is the moral compass that must guide how we use scientific knowledge and technology. The big imbalance of our modern time comes from separating these two pillars. We have mastered science and reached amazing technological heights, but we have often ignored the sacred wisdom that gives meaning and direction to our power. The result, a world with huge abilities but a deep lack of wisdom. We have the means to feed every person, yet millions go hungry. We know how to live in a way that helps the planet, yet we destroy our environment. True balance, mizan, is only achieved when these two wings work together. When scientific progress is guided by moral principles and when spiritual life is based on respect for the universe's logical order. Following one without the other leads to ruin. A purely materialistic society becomes a jungle of competition and taking advantage of others. A society that ignores physical laws for only spiritual reasons becomes stuck and unimportant. Islam calls for bringing both together, to be people who pray at night and split atoms during the day, using the knowledge of the universe to better serve humanity and get closer to the Creator. In this combination, balance is restored, and the sacred trust of being a caretaker is fulfilled once more. In the middle of searching for balance and meaning, humanity faces one of its oldest and deepest spiritual puzzles. If everything in the universe follows a divine plan, if every event, every breath, every heartbeat is set to happen, how can our choices truly matter? Are we just actors following a script that's already written, or do our choices really shape our future? This question has echoed through the halls of philosophy and religion for centuries, challenging both the mind and faith. But the Quran's view invites us to see not a problem, but a deep harmony. A mystery that goes beyond what humans can understand. Imagine a wise teacher who knows their students so well that they can guess who will do well and who will struggle. But the teacher's knowledge doesn't force the outcome. The students still choose if they want to learn or not. In the same way, God's knowledge is complete, timeless, and doesn't depend on anything else. He knows what we will choose, but His knowledge doesn't force us to make those choices. That's the first key. God's knowledge doesn't cause things to happen. It doesn't take away our freedom to choose. We are still the writers of our intentions, the starting points of our actions. The second key is to understand the limits of what we can control. We don't choose where we are born or who our parents are, or the situation we are born into. These are the rules of our test parts of God's plan. But within these rules we have the freedom to respond, to try hard, to choose between right and wrong. The Quran confirms, God does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. It gets what it earns and it suffers what it earns. This delicate balance is the main point. We are called to act with purpose and responsibility, as if everything depends on our effort, and at the same time to trust in God, knowing that the final result is with Him. To accept this puzzle means to find both strength and peace. We work, we try hard, we make choices, and yet we don't give up when we fail, nor do we become too proud when we succeed. The secret to peace is letting go of the results, without ever giving up our role as active shapers of our lives. So the mystery of what's set to happen and our free will doesn't become a block to faith. but an invitation to a deeper, more lively relationship with God. In the vast space between predestination and divine decree lies a special place, our freedom to choose. This freedom doesn't deny the divine plan, but is its most complex and amazing feature. It is the highest honor given to people, a sacred invitation to rise above simple instincts and to willingly and lovingly align our will with the divine. Every day we stand at crossroads, moments when we decide whether we want to contribute to goodness, beauty and justice, or sow chaos and disagreement. Our choices are not small. They show who we truly are and shape our future. To walk the path of light means to know our place in the big order of the universe, not as the center, but as an important thread woven into the beautiful fabric of creation. True happiness and fulfillment don't come from fighting against this plan, but from living in harmony with it. This means letting go of our ego, aligning our personal goals with the bigger purpose of life, and finding our special role in the human ecosystem. When we aim for excellence, Ihsan, in everything we do, our lives become acts of worship, reflections of divine qualities. On the other hand, the path of corruption is a path of loneliness, the belief that we can create our own values without the Creator, led by passing desires and limited understanding. This path only leads to fear, confusion and despair, because it goes against the very way reality is made. Today, the call is clear. Think and choose. Look at the perfect harmony of the universe, from the planets orbiting to the dance of the bees, and use it as a guide for your own life. Listen to the guidance sent as mercy, a light that brightens your path. True wisdom is knowing your place in the divine plan, and true success is choosing, freely, knowingly, and thankfully, to be there. That is the path of peace. That is the path of light. That is the ultimate win.